The DNA of survival. How our ancestors shaped our bodies. Did you know that your body still carries the genetic traces of ancestral battles for survival? That your metabolism, your resistance to cold, or even your ability to run long distances are the result of thousands of years of extreme adaptation. Today, we're going to explore 16 genetic lineages that have marked human evolution. From equatorial forests to frozen steppes, discover how our ancestors developed biological superpowers to survive the most hostile environments on the planet. Stay until the end to discover which adaptation might be yours. Part 1. Masters of the Forest. People of the equatorial forests. Let's start with one of the most challenging environments, the dense forests of the Congo Basin. Populations who have lived there for tens of thousands of years have developed a compact stature. Why? Less body mass means fewer calories needed, a huge advantage when food is unpredictable. But the most fascinating adaptation is invisible: their ultra-high performance detoxification system. Their liver can neutralize plant toxins that would make anyone else sick. Bitter tubers, mushrooms, toxic seeds? No problem. This ability gave them access to food sources that other populations can't even touch. The flip side? These metabolisms optimized for scarcity can struggle to handle modern food abundance, sometimes leading to metabolic problems. Part 2. Runners of the Plains. Endurance champions. Let's head to the Rift Valley in East Africa, the birthplace of history's greatest endurance runners. Nilotic populations have a body that seems sculpted for running. Long legs and arms, slender torso. This morphology maximizes the skin surface exposed to air, allowing rapid heat dissipation. But the real magic hides in their tendons. The Achilles tendon acts like a high-performance spring, recovering and returning energy with every stride. Result? They can run immense distances while expending far less energy than average. Add to that exceptional lung capacity and hemoglobin variance optimized for altitude, and you get natural endurance athletes par excellence. Warriors of the Hot Plains. In South America, in the semi-arid regions of Argentina and Paraguay, a similar but different adaptation emerged. These populations developed remarkable dehydration tolerance. Their blood circulation remains stable even with little water, and their metabolism easily switches between carbohydrates and fats, preserving muscles during fasting periods. High-density sweat glands, long limbs to dissipate heat, and a natural comfort with prolonged physical activity. Everything is designed for persistence under the burning sun. Part 3. Survivors of the Cold. Masters of cold without shivering. In Northern Europe, Finno-Ugric populations develop something extraordinary: the ability to produce heat without shivering. Their secret? Highly active brown adipose tissue. Unlike regular fat that stores energy, this tissue burns it directly to generate heat. Result? Stable body temperature even while sleeping in extreme cold, without wasting energy on shivering. This adaptation comes with psychological resilience to long, polar nights. Their sleep, mood, and energy remain surprisingly stable despite months without daylight. The price? This metabolism, oriented toward heat production, can become problematic in a modern sedentary lifestyle. Navigators of the Far North. In the Arctic, Inuit populations pushed cold adaptation even further. Their traditional diet, almost exclusively composed of meat and fat, shaped a unique metabolism. They can derive their energy almost entirely from lipids, maintaining stable blood sugar even without carbohydrates. This adaptation also includes genetics that optimize digestion of marine proteins and perfectly tolerate vitamin A levels that would be toxic for other populations. But beware, this metabolic superpower becomes a handicap when facing modern industrial food, increasing risks of diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Part 4. Kings of Altitude. Inhabitants of the Clouds. At over 13,000 feet in the Himalayas, living is a daily challenge. The air contains 40% less oxygen than at sea level. Tibetans developed a brilliant genetic solution. Instead of massively producing red blood cells like we would, they optimize oxygen use without thickening the blood. Their secret lies in EPAS1 gene variants that maintain a normal level of red blood cells while maximizing the efficiency of each oxygen molecule. This avoids risks of blood clots and heart problems linked to overly thick blood. Result? They can live and work normally at altitudes that would put most people in critical condition. Asian Highlanders. In the highlands of Southeast Asia, Hmong populations have retained a unique metabolic peculiarity. Unlike their East Asian neighbors who evolved the Asian flush, a defense reaction against alcohol, the Hmong kept a fully functional ALDH2 enzyme. This means they metabolize alcohol extremely quickly and efficiently, without accumulation of intermediate toxins, an advantage for traditional fermented beverages, but also a potential risk in the absence of natural warning signals. Part 5. Genetic Shields. The Crossroads of Resistance. In the Caucasus Mountains, genetic diversity is exceptional, particularly for immune genes. This region, a crossroads between Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, has seen countless migrations and epidemics pass through. The result? An impressive variety of HLA genes that allow recognition and combat of a very broad spectrum of pathogens. It's like having an immune system with a much more complete library than normal. Jungle resistors. In West Africa, Yoruba and Igbo populations developed an ingenious but double-edged adaptation, the sickle cell trait. Having a single copy of the modified gene protects against malaria, giving a huge survival advantage in regions where this disease kills massively. But inheriting two copies causes sickle cell disease, a serious blood disorder. It's a perfect example of evolutionary compromise, an advantage that comes with a potential cost. These populations also show remarkable bone density and a prevalence of the ACTN3 gene, linked to fast-twitch muscle fibers. Explosive power, acceleration, and impact resistance. Their bodies are literally built for strength. Part 6. Conquerors of Extremes. Pacific Navigators. Austronesians accomplished the greatest maritime migration in human history, crossing the Pacific over thousands of miles in canoes. Their adaptation? An extreme, thrifty genotype. Their metabolism stores energy with maximum efficiency, allowing survival for weeks at sea with little food. Genetic variants like CREBRF reduce their basal metabolism and increase fat storage. On an empty ocean, it was survival. In the modern world, it's become a metabolic risk factor. Desert Masters. In the Arabian Peninsula, Bedouin populations developed almost miraculous water management. Their kidneys recycle every drop, their sweat glands reabsorb salt before it's lost, and their thirst sensation remains moderate even in advanced dehydration. This physiology allows survival for days in the desert with very little water. But in a modern context, this efficient salt retention unfortunately contributes to hypertension. Steppe herders. In Central Asia, Turkic populations forge their bodies in frozen steppes and high altitudes. Like Tibetans, some groups carry EPAS1 variants for altitude. But they also developed exceptional heat retention and an immune system strengthened by centuries of proximity to livestock. This nomadic adaptation combined endurance at altitude, resistance to extreme cold, and tolerance to animal-transmitted diseases. Conclusion. These 16 genetic lineages represent only a fraction of humanity's incredible adaptive diversity. Each tells a story of survival, biological ingenuity, and evolutionary compromises. The most fascinating part? Most of us carry a mixture of several of these adaptations. Your DNA is a living library of the challenges your ancestors faced. But these ancestral superpowers can become vulnerabilities in our modern world. A thrifty metabolism becomes a diabetes risk. Efficient heat production can create cardiovascular problems. Extreme cold tolerance may poorly adapt to hot climates. Understanding these adaptations helps us better understand our bodies, our strengths, and our potential weaknesses. So, which adaptation do you think you inherited? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to not miss our next explorations into the heart of human genetics. See you soon for a new scientific adventure.